At number 62 on the Iconic 100 is the 2003 Exquisite Limited Logos of Michael Jordan. And here to talk about it today, we have Jamison Long, Exquisite Sports Collectibles on Instagram. Jamison, this card in particular, I'm interested to see land where it does, because I know that Exquisite's loved and Limited Logos is beloved, but seeing it at number 62 kind of surprised me a little bit. I didn't know it would be quite so high. What are your takes on the card?
Well, I mean, I think, when it comes to Exquisite, obviously 2003, 2004 is the king. And, that limited logo design was really something like we had never seen before, with such a huge piece of patch in it. I mean, obviously, you have the 97, 98 game jersey of Jordan, and some have that patch quality, but to have that consistency of patchwork in one set, and it's kind of hard to believe there's 75 of those cards of Jordan in the set. Honestly, you could probably have 3 cards from that set on this list between LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe, but it was really just fascinating. I mean, obviously 03, 04 Exquisite. I think just as important as the player is that set when it comes to this card. Really blew our minds, I think, as collectors, of what was possible in a set. And then just to be able to have a patch auto of Jordan of that quality, I think it really was a first for us, and really just kind of broke the barriers down for what we could expect moving forward, especially Michael Jordan collectors.
And you outlined that so well, because it really is hard to believe that they got 75 of those things out there, because the patch size, you're right, the patch size was unprecedented at the time. It really changed the game. And then, combine that with the fact that you had this incredible checklist. We can talk, both in pros and cons about some of the design elements, but if what you were looking for was, this great giant piece of patch window, and then the beautiful autograph, that hollow foil, like it really did change the game, didn't it?
It did. I think we've talked about on a previous card, about how it kind of set up the modern patch cards. Because when we were talking about the National Treasures RPA in a previous one, there has to be a lot of that drawn from the limited logo design, which really made the patch the star of the show. It was patch, white space, auto, boom, you got the bold blue auto, boom, you got the great patch. And it really just kind of put attention somewhere which really previously hadn't been the focus of attention, right? So it was really just a cool design to see, and the guys at Upper Deck, Carvin, they were knocking it out of the park. They were redesigning what we could expect from the trading card experience moving forward.
Yeah, well said. I think the other thing to point out here really is that, if you look at the cards, and I hadn't really thought about this till you mentioned it. If you look at the cards that came out in 2002 and 2001, all the way back to 1997, where you mentioned the Jordan jersey, it wasn't a patch card. It was a jersey card that had some elements, some got out that felt more like patches, right? Multicolored and stuff like that. But like true patch Jordan cards, there wasn't anything until this one that had this size and this quality. And so I think you kind of convinced me in some ways, like that. That's why it needs to be viewed as iconic as it is, because it did change the game. So super interesting take, great perspective. Again, that's number 62, the Exquisite Limited Logos, Michael Jordan. Tomorrow we're going to hit card number 61. And until then, happy collecting.